Ready, podcast? We're gonna do a deep breath.
Let's try to
Inhale for
snap at the
3.
same time. Okay.
Okay. And exhale for 3. I have been tapping into breathing as a technique for grounding and centering and enjoying myself and my life. And it's been pretty consistent now for several months. And I have even been expressing to my clients, because something I love to do is sigh or take a deep breath and just let it out. But I know sighs can have a connotation in our society, so I will sometimes
Society.
in our
Sorry.
I can't even sigh in our damn society. How misleading is that? But I've been telling clients that I have a big project with, hey, just so you know, I'm going to take some deep breaths and some sighs. I'm a deep breather, and that helps me stay concentrated, and because it's so good. And it's weird that there's a thing about like deep breaths where it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I know. But I think that you can also tell the connotation. Like, it's not like to your clients, you're like,
I'm like,
Mm,
but
Tim's
so
like,
much of the time they can't see my face. And
yeah,
yes, I'm
true. And I
exuding
could see
positive
how if you're just
energy,
like,
but
because sometimes you need to
yeah.
release some energy, so that
Yeah.
can sound like exasperated when that's not what you're meaning.
Or,
But I need to not do
certain
that sort of sighing because it's upsetting my Roger. He knows the difference. It's funny with animals, they can tell when you're letting off certain types of energy for sure.
Yeah, you can tell a dad's frustrated groan versus like a I need to let this energy down. And I absolutely hate the arg groan, dad. So don't do it. And even when Sean does something even kind of similar, I could genuinely use the word triggered. But you know what I wanted to quickly bring up to the pod is that our lifelong friend, that was our best friend from childhood, sent us. Oh god. We were so creative.
Cinematic.
Yeah, Sloan, Riley, and I spent a lot of time, honestly, like a lot of time outdoors and doing all sorts of creative and fun outdoor stuff. But then, of course, we also spent time indoors and loved photo booth and fashion shows.
Outdoor photo shoots for sure we did.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Especially starting the beginning of high school, we really started doing a lot of photo shoots. But Sloan is such a creative and has been from such an early age, and I remember her introducing us this idea. I have not seen that video since we first made it. But
me neither,
Riley,
but I'm so glad she sent it because it immediately I was like, yes, I remember
memories. But you let me know if you add in if you remember things differently or have something else to say. But basically, Sloan told us the idea that we can reverse a video. So we would record the video just normally, you press record, but we would do things and write a script that with it flipped, it would be like we're talking. So we wrote all the things backwards and tried to sound out how it would be. And
yes, let's make it so clear that the script was completely front to back backwards. We started at the end saying the words backwards, like as if we were speaking, and the entire video was reversed, which maybe it doesn't sound revolutionary because of the day and age of TikTok and stuff when everyone was editing videos, but this was like when all you've had is photo booth. There were not editing tools and stuff just available to everyone if you didn't buy like professional photography stuff, and we were like, wow, Yeah, we're gonna have to put some work in to make this backwards video, but we're definitely down to try.
Sloan helped us be. She was the technological ahead of our time member of our crew. Riley and I were definitely along for the ride, and hey, great creative minds and could see through a big idea, but Sloan just, well, because her and her brother Sawyer were both so technologically savvy, I feel like, I mean, I guess it probably did come from their parents, at least their dad in particular. I remember their computer room at their house growing up, and we were like, whoa, several monitors, lots of cameras. So I think that they had an example set, whereas, no offense, mom and dad, I wouldn't exactly call you guys like technology wizards or think you were very ahead of your time with that stuff.
Dad
Especially
is gonna
dad.
feel, yeah, he's gonna be shocked by that.
Dad, the two pointer finger typist.
Typist is crazy. That man has never typed an essay on a computer in his life. Our typing speed competition
shows.
would be dunked on him over the
Oh
moon.
yeah. That would make me feel good about myself.
Also unfortunate because our kids are going to be like how we were growing up with computers with AI. So obviously in this age of parenting, you're like, what about when my kid just extremely effectively uses AI, of which I understand nothing about? Anyway, we do not need to go down that road right now.
Yeah, that's maybe the only thing that's ever been said to me that's made me feel inspired and motivated to start using AI more. But it probably won't happen. I have different priorities. See, this is why I like horses. Anyway, the video was hilarious. Sloan sent it to us and she was like, I know this is an 8.5 long minute video, but buckle in and watch the whole thing. And I'm sure it's funnier to us than it would be to any other people, but I don't know. I actually love seeing a throwback, like, photo booth video or something of the sort on reels of a stranger when they're kids auditioning for American Idol in their living room or whatever. But some of the things we did that were sick and epic and turned out so well in the edit was a piece of paper crumpled coming from out of the mouth, and then the pieces of the shreds going shh, shh, back into place from how it had been ripped. So they were unripping and putting paper together. The hair was pretty cool. Us, like, dramatically, I was thinking of the making of the video because I'm like, we kind of nailed it. Sloan, though, is the best actor out of all of us, by far my favorite, because she, with her hand in the screen, shaking and catches the thing.
This is why Sloan went off at improv and dance so hard, because she knows how to commit to the bit, and I classically was just dying laughing doing my part, which I still would be because you're on camera in front of your two friends and I am making a video
regurgitating a banana.
Reverse eating a banana, regurgitating it back together.
Yeah, that was crazy.
This makes me cry even now, because I was also dying laughing because I was like tossing YouTube bites from you guys, so it looked like I was like catching the bites to then put back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Riley was grabbing bananas from the out of frame, just like grab banana.
That kills me.
Anyway, it was pretty sick. It was very funny, and I am grateful. I'm definitely grateful for technology in our time to have sweet stuff like that to look back on from childhood, just appreciating our personalities back then. And I also, it makes it special because unlike now where it's like videos of everything, everyone, all the time. Like, it's so rare for us to come upon a video like that. And our hair, though, was epic. That was giving, like, Poseidon, where it was just like our hair, basically we would have it. I mean, picture how we made the video, not to break the third wall, was from like holding our hands up in a ponytail and then a dramatic release down. So it looked like we were just summoning our hair up with no effort. It was actually pretty sick. Maybe we'll do you guys the biggest favor and post a short clip.
I was just thinking, if you ask nicely, maybe we'll do a little clip on the Instagram for you. For some reason, you talking about Poseidon and like hair reminded me that I wanted to tell you guys I had a brief celebrity sighting in New Zealand. I'm standing there, first of all, ran into someone we know from Jackson walking down the streets of Queenstown, and we were like, hey, having a conversation. They were looking the other way, and he just goes, oh, there's Jason Momoa right there riding a bike. And I look over my shoulder, and then 8 feet from us right there, Jason Momoa wearing a purple shirt, riding a bike. Massive man. And I was like, hi, well, there's nothing really to do about that, but
yeah,
that was very unexpected. I feel like
Riley
very
throws
small
herself
world
into the
vibes
street to get run over.
In other news, I got hit on a bike by Jason Momoa. No, I have more regard for my own personal safety than that. He's riding a mountain bike literally downhill with like a helmet on.
That is sick, though. That's a good, I mean, New Zealand seeing Jason Momoa, like, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was a fun celebrity sighting, and also standing there with our buddy from Jackson, and we were all like, nice. We're just on this trip in this beautiful, magical, awesome spot. Jason Momoa biking by the place that we just did luge. Throwback to our New Zealand episode, if you guys listened. He was biking down from that same mountain area. I'm like, imagine
I thought you were using beautiful, majestic to describe Jason Momoa, but turns out you were talking about New Zealand.
Both. It's an adjective that can apply to either and both.
Yeah.
2 adjectives. Well, I wanted to just very briefly circle back on New Zealand and say,
because there's so much to say.
There's
so much we want to hear.
There's so much to say, and I am proud of myself because I did journaling while I was gone, as you guys know I wanted to, and was making art while I was there, so that was amazing. But I was traveling with a group, and you know, I probably would have spent more time in it if it were just me and Brayden, for example, but you end up being with the group, and so there's stuff I want to catch up on, but I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do what I've done in trips past and be like, there's stuff I'd want to catch up on. I will catch up on it. It's now a pretty busy time in my life, yes, but I am motivated and compelled to do it, and I am just chipping away at entries as I go. What I did first was went through and did more like collage and things on the pages, and am going through and adding my reflections. And
I need to catch up with that from Bryce Canyon as well, so maybe for our birthday, which is in a couple of days when this comes out, we should have a collage session.
Ooh, that would be fun. Or just writing too.
Mm-hmm.
Together, just a journal sesh.
Yeah.
Would be lovely.
Everyone else can be out of the house fetching us our things, please, and Riley and I will be in our little cozy space doing that.
Yay. And having visits to the animals, and that was just a super great trip. And I feel like something that I really took away from New Zealand was just having a lot less consumerism steeped into the culture. Does not mean it's not there, certainly, but driving along the roads, it's not billboards. Like in the cities, there are some billboards as advertisement, but as you're driving through all like the countryside and all this space, we're not doing billboards and advertisements everywhere to people, and like advertising in like windows and stuff. I would say it's overall reduced. Again, I'm not saying that it never happens. Don't be like they advertise. Yeah, but as someone that I come from this culture, I can tell you it is a vastly different experience, and it made it so much more possible for me to do like a brain break, reset, like be involved in nature, even if you're on the road on a road trip. It's way different if your experience is broken up with like even seeing ag land. I'm not saying no sign of humans, but with things trying to sell you something, whether that's an idea or a product. And
Yeah.
I don't think that it's accurate when people say basically, yeah, but what's done is done. That is the situation. We just have to live with that. Oh, yeah, maybe for a while and things can change over time, but I'm not resigned to just, oh, that's the way it is here. Oh, you don't think we can change something like that? I think we can, as a culture, make a lot of moves. And gosh, like seeing just like, first of all, on my drive through America, it's always like guns on all of these advertisements. It's like we have guns and ammo, and then it's like we have fast food, and just trying to, look at the world around me.
Yeah. Billboards are very hard for me to swallow, and I will say I very much appreciate when it's an artist's work is what gets put up on a billboard, when they're billboards that were already there and then it's featuring an artist's work. I am like, I would happily have this be a viewing space for art or something worthwhile, which 1-800 call your lawyer is not how I feel about that.
Yeah. Well,
Frank Azar. Damn it. The billboards are working.
yeah, they are effective at what they're doing, but I think we're allowed to agree as a culture when things are um should not be being done to us. And I
But
will
that's cool,
continue.
right?
Yeah. I'll
That's
continue
a
thinking
good.
about these things and digesting the difference in culture, but I did already bring it up also last episode, but just the intention with food. I think we're feeling that people are craving that in America right now too. Maybe it's happening and sometimes not exactly the ways that I would agree with, but I do like that more people are starting to think about what's in their food and what we have access to because of legislation. And that's, we can feel like there should be more or less legislation on certain things, but somewhere like New Zealand, when you have this gubernatorial model and they, as a nation, I think in general, care more about their access to local food, like they're a pretty, relatively small island, and a lot of what we saw in stores was grown in New Zealand. I know a lot of what we have in America is also grown in the United States, but anyway, a lot of those we know are corn products and highly processed foods, etc.
And we would not mistake this as hating on the farmers. We are
No.
so grateful, love the farmers, need the farmers, and farmers here are what are trying to set the tone as best as they can. And this is a generalization, but in general, to have healthier, better, more sustainable food for Americans. So
Yeah. Well,
it
in the
is.
capitalistic model, this is not good for farmers, clearly. Farmers are
Mhm.
also subject to all these big companies, and they can't even like use their seeds to make heirloom breeds because they're patented seeds, and they have to keep paying these companies year after year off, and they have to pay for all these pesticides that end up being so expensive. it's not sustainable in a way of like speaking for the larger environment, which means it includes people as well. This is not good for
Mm-hmm.
farmers at all.
We have a situation in Colorado at a farm called Freedom Acres that is a Black veteran owned farming operation. I think they have cattle and pork, and they do events there, and they have been having threats and literal gunshots fired by passerbys at their farm because of racism. And this family is just having to continue doing their best to keep a good head on their shoulders of running their family farm while they have literally, for I think it's months at this point, been being stalked and harassed and had, like I said, like literally shots fired on their farm. And
Wow,
the
that is
sheriff's
horrible.
department is not what they're reporting on social media from this farm is that the sheriff's department has not prioritized this and is not making headway. And yeah, I'm so
Wow.
disheartened by it.
Yeah, that's inexcusable, and Americans deserve much, much better to be told that we're guaranteed like safety, and that is clearly not ever a guarantee, but at least to be helped. But that is a horrible situation, and
And a good reminder to, when you can, support farmers, that you get to know who they are too in their situation. It's a special time. I'm not saying only support farmers that are on social media, but it is a special situation to have access to find people in your state, in your area, that you can purchase their products and help support them directly. And I think that type of thing is so empowering. And it's also farmers market season, which is so exciting. And I know you pay a higher price tag, but I also, the way I think about this stuff is, genuinely, it's a thing that is good for the economy, good for everybody,
guess
and
what?
and it's so good, so delicious, high quality stuff, high nutrients, that also I find when I have gone to the farmers market, I'm working on being the best I can be about food waste in general, but 100% of the time me going to the farmers market, I am extremely aware and vigilant of what I had and prioritize eating at home more than eating out. And so for me, that's how I'm justifying it anyway.
Well, you also usually like have a deeper respect for the food if you meet the person who's grown it or participated in the process, and you're like, I am going to use up this produce. I'm not gonna just let it go bad. You're not detached from it like you might be spinach that comes in plastic at the grocery
Mhm.
store, and is the same experience as buying like fast fashion from Target, So, speaking of, on that note, we were away for several weeks and came back, and to just see the garden, I'm like, oh my goodness. I love you, the Mountain West, but that is unfortunate that we are not going to have the situation anymore where we literally abandon our garden, leave it to its own devices, hope for the best, and it comes back and it's like, oh, my foxgloves that I planted 2 years ago have all bloomed for the first time, and our peas grew up their little trellis that we put up. We have all sorts of greens, the most massive daikon I've ever grown.
Yeah.
this thing was as big as Braden's forearm. I was like, oh my gosh. Um, some of our radishes, in fact, grew too big, so the insides weren't that awesome, but we just pickled them. And
Nice.
yeah, it's.
That's so special. The good thing is, once you know more, I am not saying it will be the same, but I do feel like people, once you know more where you are in the Mountain West, like I have a lot of friends that have very, very successful vegetable gardens, even us just being in like the Denver metro area versus being in Jackson, Wyoming. We are very lucky to have a lot more sunshine and heat, so a lot of stuff does
Yeah.
a lot better.
Even like very close places to each other also have different microclimates that sometimes
Yeah.
unexpectedly you can grow things that you wouldn't think you would. And so I think we will definitely figure that part out. And I'm so looking forward to it. And I'm also feeling good. It feels good to garden because we're passing this off to the next people that are renting this house. I'm like, here you go. Were these beautiful flowers here before? No. Was any of this stuff growing here? They were not. And now you get to enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I have because
Yeah.
I really, really have.
That's so special. I think that it feels so good to leave a, whether it's a rental property or you own it, but in our case, ever has always been rental properties, to leave a rental property so much better than you found it. I take great pride in doing that and truly cleaning up and pouring life and love into a space and letting that trickle effect happen. And who knows, you can't, I know that sometimes people get hung up like, oh, but the next person, they might not take care of it. They might not, and that's true, but in a lot of cases, people will appreciate it very much, and probably more than we realize. There's more of that shared spirit of good.
100%, especially if you get the chain going and started.
Uh-huh.
Um, let's just hear a little quick bit about what you have going on next week. And we've teased a
Yes.
little bit, and I can't wait to hear about your return on our next episode. But
Yes. We're teasing and we're batching because this girl, this solo independent chick, is going to be hauling. Okay, I'm done with third person. I am going to be hauling my equine across a few states to get to Washington for a week-long Packer school, which, if that
what
is
is
like,
that?
wait, what?
Some
Yeah.
people might be wondering.
What are you talking about? Okay. Picture this. A string of animals. I hear that you might not know what that
break
means either.
yeah, now we will break it down even further.
Multiple horses or mules in a row, or donks. Equine, okay? So we're talking attached to each other, and we don't need to go into much more depth than that. But you can picture like mules. There must be at least an iconic photo that you've seen in your time
Oh,
that
yes.
mules are in a string, not you, obviously, them.
I'm saying everyone that has any like
Right,
image of the American iconography has seen
right.
whether
You
you know
guys,
it or not, you have seen a
yes.
pack string.
And they have their backs packed with a big load on it. That is
Big, she means
packing.
manageable and appropriate for their body size.
Yes, we certainly don't need PETA coming after us. This is all good. It's all good in the mule hood. Like we care deeply about them. Packers are some individuals that maybe care, you know, more than the average bear about stewardship of their animals and the land. So I am doing a pack school that basically is a deep dive into different packing methods, and um, it would qualify you to become a Forest Service packer or just feel more safe doing more personal pack trips or, yeah, commercial work. And that's going to be just me and the animals trucking across a few states. And that's my first true solo venture where I've, like, in college, I have solo, trailered Ghost back to my home in Jackson or something like that. But this is multiple overnights and then, of travel on both ends, and then a full week of um camping with them during this pack school. So I'm
Well, I
very
am
excited.
so excited for you and proud of you. I know that you can do it, and it's awesome that you're pursuing these things that are a big first time to have, but we love to have those experiences and learn, and I'm so excited for your brain to just soak up all of this information. You do such a great job learning about those things that you're passionate about and passing on equine adventure information. So
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna benefit from this a lot too, and I'm excited about that. I am going to be doing a different sort of packing school where I have to move multiple states lines during the same time you're doing that. Sounds cooler and more fun with your babies, but we're gonna have as much fun as we can in this process and get moved in
Yeah.
way closer to you, which is gonna be super fun.
Yeah, Riley is U-Haul packing and I am mule packing, so you choose
Choose
your
your own
player.
adventure. I'm also U-Haul packing at a time where gas is like known to be so expensive in
Oh
the
yeah.
States. That being said, guys, in New
I'm
Zealand, the gas was 4 times as much, and I'm not exaggerating in certain places, so we can just be grateful. That being said, we were also renting a hybrid, and I was like, dang, this thing gets really good mileage.
So you're saying it wasn't as bad because of
No,
that.
it like panned out for us there, but if you
Yeah.
didn't, like if I were driving my car there, but it would have been twice as much. So
Well, yeah,
that's
I'm
tough.
gonna be having to be fueled up with diesel all
Yeah.
the way across these states. So yeah,
Worth it
that's
though. What can you do about that? Like yeah, it sucks, but you know, what
you
can
have
we
to
do?
budget for it.
Yep.
And I just, if anything, I know I haven't even embarked on the journey yet, but I am so looking forward to it, and I just feel so convicted in the mindset of living your dreams while you're here. And I don't take time for granted. And if I could take anything away from the amount of losses of friends and family, and we've lost in our life quite a few people in our age range, and if nothing else, that has truly continued to light a fire on me of, like, now is the time. I It's not going to be more convenient next year. It's not going to be more convenient if I save for another 5 years. I am doing the things in my life to get myself as best prepared and, be making this type of decision as responsibly as possible, but there are some times where it is just not worth waiting, and I am super grateful to have support from my loved ones that believe in me and want me to do this. And yeah, I'm a big dreamer and I have things to do with my time on earth. And I would just encourage everyone to, if there's a thing you've been waiting on and thinking about, seize the day. The time is now, and I am so ready for this and just cannot possibly wait or stand the idea of getting to do the type of backcountry adventures with my herd that I have dreamed of for so many years. And I'm finally at the point that I have a healthy herd where I can start making this stuff happen, and I am just buzzed about it and so ready.
Well, hell yeah, cowgirl. I feel like that is a good message to close on this week. We will hear more about it soon. You've got this. Good luck, everyone. We hope that you are, closing out this season of your life well, starting, dare I say, summer. We are, I know, still in spring, but we are transitioning rapidly towards your summer life. And we can all use that awakening alive energy to our advantage. We're getting through the year of the fire horse before you know it.
I was gonna
Let's enjoy
say,
that.
we're about halfway.
Oh
And
wait, the year of the
Riley,
fire horse did not start at the same time as the Western
that's okay.
New Year, but you know what I
Our
mean,
our
guys.
listeners, yeah, our listeners are forgiving and none the wiser. But Riley, drive safe, and I'm so excited that when I get back, I'm gonna be getting back to you, and I'm gonna be unpacking my animals and helping you unpack, and we are nose to the grindstone to start a buckin' awesome summer together, our first Colorado summer together.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw! Riley is about to be riding a mule into the Rocky Mountain wilderness with me, so
You got that
wish
right.
her luck.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh yeah, baby. Stream DJ Tyler White's new first single.
Oh
It
yeah,
has
baby.
I haven't listened to it yet because of the timing, but I believe it's about to come out and we will be streaming for our man, our cowboy sweetheart.
That's right. On that note, we will talk to you next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.